Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. This is episode 130, recorded live Thursday, November 30th, the eve of December. I'm Nick Metzger here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have. That's right, it's Mr. Sean Abbott, and we're going to fill your brains with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox, like big, lots of news, lots of games dropped from Xbox, all coming to Game Pass, all for you, coming up in the next couple weeks. They're all here. Happy Merry Christmas to you folks being tucked up with Starfield. Do you like Starfield so much you want to snuggle with it? Xbox has got you covered. And we got the Mogul Gaming Awards. They're done, and we're going to talk about it. You better sit down. You better buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker is one crazy ride.
Yo ho ho, what is up everyone, and welcome to today's show. I just want to welcome you all to your favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us on pretty much every social networking app out there. Everything is at Game Pass Tracker. If you have any thoughts, any questions, do not hesitate to shoot us an email at show@gamepasstracker.com. That is show@gamepasstracker.com. If you like what you are hearing and you would love to hear from us more, this has just gone terribly wrong. Oh dear. If you love what you hear and you want to leave us a review, you can too on your go-to podcast app of choice. It really does help us grow and reach more fans like you. And sorry, my voice just disappeared as well. We wouldn't be the Game Pass show without promoting the big daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass, you love our show, and you want to show your support, head over to the link in the description or in the chat and sign up to Game Pass within the next 24 hours from the Xbox.com website. Not only will you be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker show, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription out there at the moment, Xbox Game Pass. Sign up to whatever level you desire. That's PC Game Pass, Core, or Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat or in the show notes, and you'll continue to help us create the awesome content that we love to make for you guys, our amazing fans. And now I've absolutely slayed my intro, Nick. Let's head into the Game Pass headlines.
I'm not going to lie, the hat, so for those of you who don't know, like a little behind the scenes, I actually don't see Sean when we start the stream. It goes to starting soon. Zoom, which we use to connect, is in the background. I'm looking at the starting soon screen. So you got me, man. I moved over and I was like, oh, he's got a hat on. He's Santa Claus. I got Santa Claus in the building with me. So that was fun.
It's technically the 1st of December in the UK right now. So you are like you're 5 hours behind, and people that are watching this are going to be 6-7 hours behind. There could be in future. Who knows? It's the art of time travel. We've seemed to have mastered this over the last 3 or 4 years of podcasting together. So yeah, happy 1st of December, everybody.
That's
Cheers.
Right. Yeah, and I love your voice. It's also a little behind the scenes. We're gonna squirrel for a hot second. Like Sean and I, before we hop on, normally go and do what we got to do before the podcast, so we'll be here for you guys. So I had a peanut butter wrap. Sean had biscuits. So we're all like, just it was like here's a bunch of food. So we got our voices. Probably shouldn't do that right before, but hey, we're not going to change now. So there you go. But man, did Xbox give us some games. I was wondering what we were going to talk about. Well, let me tell you, the games are here, and we can talk about a bunch of them. So I guess
to
start out, last week, dropping November 28th. Well, not last week, actually this week, technically.
I'm going to say that there was absolutely nothing until about Monday morning.
Yep, exactly. So this week dropped Rollerdome, which I got a hot second with. Fun art style. You're skating around, you're shooting things. I'll talk a little bit more about it in the what am I trying to say? In the dashboard, but it is a fun jaunt of a game. Let me just put it that way. Do you want to go bop? Do you want to bop back and forth with all these games, Sean?
Yeah,
you can go next.
Dune Spice Wars. That came out as well. These all dropped on the 28th of November. So these all dropped Monday morning. So Dune Spice Wars dropped. I haven't, and I will be completely honest with everybody, I have not been paying attention to what is happening in the gaming world at the moment. It's a crazy week for me. It's my 72-hour week, and tie that on top of getting ready for the holidays and kids' parties and stuff like that. It's just been absolutely mental for me. So, and I now can't find my information on what June Spice Wars was because that link has disappeared. I deleted it like a fool.
Hey, I can do that one, and then you can do Killer Instinct because I don't know much about it. So
Okay.
Dune Spice Wars is out November 28th. Already out, cloud and console only. Already available on PC. Sorry, and it's a 4-time real-time strategy game from the developers of the critically acclaimed Northgard, set in Frank Herbert's groundbreaking Dune universe. You must lead your faction in battle for control and dominance over the harsh desert plains of Arrakis. So that's Dune Spice Wars.
Fantastic. And then, as you said, the next game out, which I believe was also 28th was also the 28th, was Killer Instinct. Why has all my information suddenly disappeared? I had like tabs open and everything, and now everything's refreshing and it's not working. So yeah, Killer Instinct. This is the full collection of everything, all the characters, all the stages and stuff like that. This is like, I mean, I've been playing this version of Killer Instinct for a long time. It's been there on Game Pass for a while, but now they've just added everything. So you get it's the deluxe edition of Killer Instinct, and I think it was actually branded as an anniversary version. But great side-scrolling fighter game. I can't remember who my favorite one was. It was the skeleton. It's like a pirate skeleton with a sword and a shield. I can't quite remember his name, but he was my favorite character to use. It is a great fighting game. It was one of those that at its time was kind of giving Mortal Kombat a run for its money when it first came out. But obviously, Mortal Kombat's had a lot more work put into it over the years than Killer Instinct has. So, but a pretty good game all around.
Yeah, and this was a surprise drop. We weren't expecting it, and all of a sudden it was there. So that's fun. Those are always good things. And then, today, we're all making a doc well, there's nothing to talk about. I don't know what we're going to do in December. There's nothing here. And then Xbox was like, boom! And not only did they give us a crud ton of games, they gave us surprise drops for today. Starting with Remnant from the Ashes, available everywhere, making a return to the Game Pass library. Making a return. I guess I didn't realize this was a return. Is a third-person survival action shooter set in the post-apocalyptic world overrun by monstrous, yeah, sorry. Not monstrous, whatever. As one of the last remnants of humanity, you'll set out alone or alongside up to 2 other survivors to face down hordes of deadly enemies and epic bosses and try to retake what was lost. I forgot to hit the button. Sorry, folks. So yeah, I saw it. It actually looks. I'm not gonna lie. It looks like a Redfall. That's what I saw when I saw the trailer. I was like, this looks like a Redfall.
Yep, it is downloaded. It's on my dashboard. I did want to get to it this evening, but I hadn't had the chance. So we had flurries of snow, and then had to drive out and pick up the eldest daughter from work. And then when I got back from doing that, they wanted to watch I'm a Celebrity because at the moment that's what they're doing. In fact, that's what I'm doing. I'm quite into that as well, surprisingly enough. So they kind of took over the TV, and I just sat and chatted with you. So
yeah. Next out also today, Remnant II, available everywhere as well. A sequel to the best-selling, wait for it, Remnant from the Ashes. That pits survivors of humanity against new deadly creatures and godlike bosses across terrifying worlds. Play solo or co-op with 2 other friends to explore the depths of the unknown to stop an evil from destroying reality itself. Man, when you see these 2 trailers together, Sean, wow. I mean, the graphics have come a long way from the Ashes to 2. It looks a lot different.
Now I looked at the gameplay trailer and the images from the Ashes and was like, oh, okay, yeah, that looks okay. But I don't want to go back and play something that, it has aged a little bit. So I downloaded Remnant 2 to try that.
That's wise from what I can tell. This game looks...
Yeah, I mean, 2019 was From the Ashes, and 2023 was Remnant 2. So
yeah.
it's a fair cop to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing that is out this week, I want to class it this week because it's technically out for me in the UK now, with it being the 1st of December, is Steam World Build. Now, this is one that Nick is super excited for, and I can understand why, because I think I'm a little bit excited for this one. So break ground on a new frontier as the planet dies around you, dig deep and build wide to excavate long-lost space-faring technology while ensuring everyone has the vital water, fuel, and creature comforts they need. Do you have what it takes to reach the final frontier? So Steam World, there was Steam World Dig, which I think is why they in the blurb for this they kind of hinted at Dig Deep. But Steam World Build is more of a 3D sandbox style game, bit of crafting, bit of harvesting, as well as people management. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So.
Yep. Cannot wait. I will be playing it. Actually, I have not looked to see. I don't know when. You never know when it actually is going to drop on Game Pass. I would love to see it at midnight. That would be fantastic. I probably will play it if that's the case. But either way, I will be in it tomorrow for sure. Also, dropping tomorrow, another game that we just found out about is Spirit of the North. I don't think I have this one on my thing. My bad. Spirit of the North. I was actually more excited for it at first because I thought it was the one that they were talking about on the Xbox showcase they did, but that's actually Spirit of the North 2. So, but anyways, we get Spirit of the North, and it's out everywhere. It's out tomorrow, December 1st, or today if you're Sean. Awaken the spirit of the North and start your journey. Set out on a beautiful and meaningful adventure across landscapes inspired by those in Iceland. Discover a land left in ruin as you're guided across mountains by the guardian of the Northern Lights, solving environmental puzzles to uncover what happened to the ancient civilization that once lived there. It's a 3D platformer. They don't give you a lot about the game mechanics here, but you're a fox, I believe. And you gain powers like dashes and double jumps and stuff like that in a 3D platformer. And so looks darn good.
So quickly going back to Steam World Build, I have found that it'll be 9 a.m. ET or 6 a.m. PT for release time. So
bummer. I
Not
guess
much
that
work
just
getting done
means
tomorrow.
Coral Island for me tonight. So there you go.
I still cannot believe that you are fighting through that.
We'll talk about
that when we get.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that when we get to that. So where are we at? You
The
did
clone
put it on
drone.
there. So it's clone drone in the danger zone. That's a lot of owns and drones.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is a robot voxel slice 'em up where any part of your body can be sliced off with your mind downloaded into a robot gladiator, which sounds really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds very much like Monty Python's A Holy Grail with the knight in black, where you can chop him. He gets chopped up, and it's only a flesh wound. You must survive the sinister trails of the arena, fight up to 15 players in a last spot standing, team up for online co-op, or face down the robot emperor in story mode. Sounds like an interesting game. I want to give this a go. Luckily, it is. It's going to be when I have some time off. So.
Yeah, this one is interesting. I mean, I would not have known what voxel is specifically. Like, I mean, maybe I'm one of the few, but it is like Minecraft-esque, except maybe smaller blocks. Okay.
Okay.
And the writing, at least in the trailer, is pretty good. Like, I mean, there were some funny like one-liners. Don't know if those are the only funny one-liners. You never know that. But it was. I liked what I saw. I too will give it a go. I did not realize from the trailer that it had a 15 player kind of last spot standing thing. I don't know how interested I'd be in that, but I would be interested in trying the story mode and seeing what that's about, because it just looks funny. So And then also Rise of the Tomb Raider. Man, I didn't do very good, guys. I'm sorry. I missed a bunch of these things. Rise of the Tomb Raider out everywhere December 5th as well. Return to the game. It's a return to the Game Pass library featuring epic high-octane action moments set in the most beautifully hostile environments on Earth. Rise of the Tomb Raider delivers a cinematic survival action adventure where you will join Lara Croft on her first tomb raiding expedition. Sounds great.
Yep.
I'd love to play it. I don't know if I'll get to it.
If you played Plague Tale Requiem and liked the hide and dodge and kind of like attack when you need to attack kind of motion controls, you're going to really like this. I have a feeling that if you get to it, you're going to very much enjoy it. There's a bit of platform and climbing to do. There's like hiding and attacking to do, as well as a bit of crafting and collecting. There's a lot in there that I think you'll enjoy.
Sure. Yeah, no, I saw the trailer. The trailer looked darn good. Yeah, I'd love to give it a go, to be honest.
So next, there's so many games coming on December 5th. It's like, yeah. So this is available day one with Game Pass. It's coming to cloud, console, and PC while the iron's hot. So you step into the boots of a journeyman's blacksmith on a quest to become a master and restart a ruined village along the way. This crafty adventure game, looking at you, Nick, sends players to the mysterious island of Elian, where the world's finest artisans dwell. While you might forge a few weapons on your journey, this isn't the kind of game where you'll wield them. The island's troubles can all be solved with your wits and crafting moxie. So to me, this sounds like there isn't going to be any form of like attacking to be done, apart from you just provide the necessary tools to do that.
So. Right. Yeah. So you're not looking you're not seeing the trailer, at least at the same time as we are. Here's the one thing I will say. I will probably give this game a go, but the one thing I'm worried about with this game is it seems like every time you craft something, you have this little like mini game that you have to play, like hit the button when the bar is right in the center or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Those kind of games where you gotta craft a mini game is a bit, I don't know. They can be a bit tedious, and sometimes they annoy me. So we'll see how this rolls out. But I'll definitely give it a go. I mean, I always loved a crafty game. There's certainly a tidal wave of them currently on Game Pass. I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what's up. So I'm down for all of them. Now that Sean talked about my game, I'll talk about I don't know if it's his game, but it's certainly not my game. World War Z Aftermath, out everywhere. Also December 5th. That's right. If you're counting, that's 4 games coming to Game Pass, all on December 5th. A heart-pounding co-op third-person shooter for up to 4 players featuring swarms of zombies based on the Paramount Pictures film World War Z. Focuses on fast-paced gameplay while exploring new storylines from around the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
World War Z, if you actually watch the film, which you probably didn't.
I did.
Is a fantastic.
I did watch the film.
Oh, with Brad Pitt. So great film. Fantastic spin on the whole zombie horror genre. In fact, for the fact that they're not slow and docile, it was quite good that they were all fast paced. That is brought into the gameplay in this as well. So,
yep. For those of you who wonder why the hell would he watch a movie and not play the game, I can watch scary movies and be just fine. But if I play scary games, I tend to dream about them. So, there's your answer.
Super immersion. That's what you go for. You just get so immersed.
Yeah, it must be.
I can imagine that you are currently dreaming of working on an island and trying your hardest to give things to a
Sean,
a museum that can't.
No. Wrong game. I appreciate Coral Island, but I'm not dreaming about Coral Island. I did, in fact, though, dream about Minecraft. Because though I love Coral Island, we've been trying to figure out stuff in Minecraft for quite a while. And yep, last night I dreamt about Minecraft. And that wasn't bad.
Oh, dear. So, moving on. December 7th. We are now away from December the 5th. So December 7th, Bill Gore is back. You have to make a funny noise because obviously this is Goat Simulator 3. Caviar Herd and that was a good one. So Caviar Herd and venture forth into Goat Simulator 3. All new, totally realistic sandbox farmyard experience that puts you back in the hooves of no one's favorite female protagonist. I didn't realize the goat was female. I like that. And I don't know why. I have seen a lot of TikTok videos of this and YouTube videos. They have done a lot in this. There's a lot of Easter eggs in it. So I know there's a Star Wars Easter egg in it for sure. And a Fallout Easter egg in there. So lots of different things to go and do. My eldest daughter is really excited for this because she loved the first one. I could probably say that all three children are going to be excited for this because I know Logan was too young for Goat Simulator, but if I tell him he can run around and headbutt people as a goat, gonna love it. So yeah, that comes December 7th. That could be a hilarious sit down and play with everybody. So
Can you play this co-op? Do you know?
I think you can play it split screen.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah. Okay. That's yeah. If I Goat Simulator 3 local co-op, I'm seeing here. Actually, I haven't even corrected.
So I reckon Noah would love this.
Yes. So it does have local co-op. So up to 3 friends. Oh, that's perfect. Me and Noah and Ariel. All right. Kiddos and me will be giving this a go. I don't know what the wifey will think about some of this, but that's okay. We'll figure that out later. Moving
educational.
That's right. Coming out December 8th. I believe that's a Friday. Friday, December 8th, Against the Storm. Only for you folks with PC Game Pass, by the way. A dark fantasy city builder where you must rebuild civilization in the face of apocalyptic rains. As the Queen's Viceroy, lead humans, beavers, lizards, foxes, and harpies. I don't know what a harpy is. To reclaim the wilderness and secure a future for civilization's last survivors. So this is an interesting game. I looked around for a little bit because I'm always like a good city builder. It's a roguelite. I don't know. It's a rogue one. Where you won't always have the same. When you go into a world, you won't always have the same buildings or same resources available to you. Some buildings may do the same thing as other buildings, but not to the same efficiency. So, you get into these games, and I can attest to this, to where it's like, okay, I've played it once. I could play it again. Sure, the playthrough will be different in quotation marks, but really I know what to build first. I know what to build second. I know it's the same problem I had with Slime Rancher, right, Sean? It was like, okay,
yep.
Yes, it's a new world, but I know what to do. The like discovery of which slime to build and how to use them is done. It's not there anymore. This game is trying to take care of that by saying, hey, you may be on a land that doesn't have a certain resource. There will be ways to get that resource, but it might not be mining. It might be trading with somebody else. So maybe you need to make a trading post and really, stock into upgrading that. Or maybe it'll be something different. I think that's an interesting concept. I'm a bit nervous with, procedurally generated worlds can sometimes be annoying because the computer's not setting it up particularly one way. But they promise that there is a way to get through. It just may look different, and you may have to try to think outside the box on some runs. Could be really interesting. So we'll see.
See, that's not an issue. That sounds quite good.
Yeah,
because the repetitiveness is taken away from you by the fact that it's going to be different every time. So
yeah, for sure. Now
big gamble, but
go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to say it's a big gamble. But
yeah, it is.
If it gets pulled off well, it'll be interesting.
Okay, sorry. Now, this is the first time, kind of exciting, first time in Xbox history that we have to chat about Game Pass Core games. There is new games for you Game Pass Core people. If you're not Ultimate or Console, gosh, I even have trouble. Is that what it is? It's Core, Console, and Ultimate?
It's Core, PC, Game Pass, and Ultimate.
Okay, sorry. I'm trying. I remember I've asked you this question like 3 times. One day it'll stick in my head. You have 2 new games coming your way. One of them is Chivalry 2.
Chivalry 2.
Take it away, Sean.
Which I believe we've... Chivalry 2, a multiplayer first-person slasher inspired by epic medieval movie battles. You'll be thrust into the action of every iconic moment of the era, from clashing swords to storms of flaming arrows to sprawling castle sieges and more, charging into the battle on horseback and claim glory with your blade. So we mentioned this because these 2 games are already available if you are a PC Game Pass and Game Pass Ultimate subscriber. But if you only subscribe to the core, you are limited to what games you get. So these are now being added to your service as extra games to have, which is quite nice.
Yeah. I have played Chivalry 2. It has a very intricate attack and defense, or let me just say, an attack system. And I always want to try to like figure it out, but there's 64 people on the battlefield at one time. So usually I just end up mashing buttons and somebody kills me pretty quick. And I'm just excited when I like maybe randomly kill one person. So that's been my experience with it. I never feel like I can fully take advantage, and I probably just am not skilled enough, but I never feel like I can fully take advantage of the intricate attack system that they've built into the game. So, but there you go. The next game is Total Reliable Delivery Service, also currently out for Game Pass, now available for core players. Both these games coming December 6th. Buckle up your back brace and fire up the delivery truck. It's time to deliver. Join up to 3 friends and haphazardly get the job done in an interactive sandbox world under cruel ragdoll physics. Sean, pilot your favorite vehicle and complete the tasks at hand to the best of your ability to attempt your deliveries.
Now, I've played this game and I think it's hilarious. The B-roll that you've got going through now is as crazy as that. You can just fling people around. You can fling packages around. It is a hilarious game to play. Couch co-op is available.
Oh, good.
So it's even more fun to play.
Maybe I'll have to give this a go with, because I too have played this game. I found it a little frustrating. And I mean, maybe I was just playing by myself. So maybe I was too focused on the objective and not having enough like just fun goofing off. But like, man, some of those deliveries I was really struggling to get done, like packages and keeping them on what they needed. I don't know. But yeah, so there you go. December 6th. Congratulations, core folks. You got new stuff coming. Do you think stuff's gonna roll off core?
Yeah, I think eventually stuff will, to make room for more things. So I can expect maybe a couple more additions, and then in a few months' time, we might start to see things just drop off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yeah. They do say this is their first announcement addition to the core library. And as a reminder, Xbox plans to update the Game Pass core library 2 to 3 times a year. These games, along with more than the 25 others currently available, will be available with your membership alongside the benefits of online console multiplayer, discounts on games, and more. So,
yep.
There you go.
Fantastic little service. You can buy in a decent level for paying for your gold, as well as the availability to play a few games as a taster to see what Game Pass is like in its fullest is like. I think it was a great idea. I think a lot of people gave Xbox a bit of stigma at first when they came with it, but it's grown on me in terms of it makes it very affordable, especially listening to people that are paying like hundreds of plus pounds for PlayStation up front and stuff like that, and not having the same amount of games available to them. So,
yeah, I agree. I think I crapped on it. I'll admit, when I saw it, when I heard about it, I crapped on it. But I think it came out all right. And I guess I would be interested to know from people who really live in it, right? For me, I lost something and didn't gain much, right? Like I lost games with gold and didn't gain anything. Now, if you sat
This
at
is
that
true.
level before, you lost games with gold, but you gained these games that you now have ability to, or not that you now have that you can play. So I don't know. I don't know. Just mumbling over here, Sean. Don't
I
worry
think,
about me.
and then games coming in the near future. So these are games that are going to be coming out past the end of next week, kind of mark. So we have Tin Hearts, which is coming to cloud, console, and PC. This is embark on lemming-like puzzles. That's me solved straight away. I was literally talking to Lindsay the other day about how much I love lemmings. To relive the emotional, heartbreaking story of a genius inventor, Albert Butterworth, spanning across four distinctive acts with 50 plus puzzles, massively woven throughout a grand Victorian home, steadily uncover a variety of whimsical inventions with unique abilities to provide safe route of passage for the troop of tin soldiers to travel. I will be all over this. I loved Lemmings, so
And it'll work out well for you too, right? Because it's cloud, so you could always do the work thing.
play on the move.
Yeah.
Play on the move. Yep.
Yep. And then 2 days later, Far Cry 6, folks. We were like, I remember chatting about this when it first came out. Of like, are we going to get it? I think we could get it. We might get it. We didn't get it, but we did get it. Just quite a year and a half to 2 years later, something like that. Welcome to Yara. Far Cry 6 is available everywhere, December 14th. Welcome to Yara, a tropical paradise frozen in time, as the dictator of Yara, Anton Castillo, is intent on restoring his nation to its former glory by any means necessary. With his son, Diego, following in his bloody footsteps, their oppressive rule has ignited a revolution. Play as Danny Rojas, a local Yaran, as you fight alongside a modern-day guerrilla revolution to liberate Yara in this open-world, first-person action adventure. I remember when this came out, when they showed it at a showcase. I don't know if it was an Xbox showcase, I can't remember, or if it was just Ubisoft's own deal, Ubisoft Forward, I think is what they call it. I wasn't sure I wanted to play the game, but I was enwrapped by the trailer because I remember it. It's like it had a kid that was like, not a kid, but like a 20-something, I don't know, like teenage, maybe upper teenager, with a gun, and he was walking, and it would like cut between walking upstairs, and you didn't know what he was doing, and it would cut to like this crowd that was chanting outside, and it was going back and forth, and I just remember being enwrapped by the trailer, like, oh my gosh, I want to know what's happening in this trailer. So yeah.
Also, they have a really cool DLC. If you're a massive fan of Stranger Things like me, there is a Stranger Things DLC for Far Cry 6 as well, which you can purchase outside of your Game Pass subscription. But it's reasonably cheap, and it apparently gives a pretty good extension to the game. So, also, I just want to point out something really quick, because I know people out there, I know it's the holidays, and people are either buying all the lovely nice gifts for all their family members and might not have money to be playing PC Game Pass this month. But if you are already a PC Game Pass user, one of the Game Pass Ultimate perks, that you can get is you can now get 3 months of Discord Nitro. If you unlock that 3 months of Discord Nitro, it automatically will unlock and give you a code for 3 months of PC Game Pass. So if you have any friends, family members that want to use PC Game Pass, or you want to use it yourself, and your Game Pass Ultimate subscription is coming up at the end of the month, and you want to move on to PC Game Pass, now is a really good time to use that ability. So I only point these out because it's not very often that they come in conjunction with each other. So use your current Game Pass Ultimate perk to unlock your Discord Nitro, and then at the end of your Discord Nitro, claim your PC Game Pass for 3 months, back and forth. So,
look at you! I love it. That's like, hey, you only get that here, folks. There you go. We're keeping you up to date, or at least Sean is. I'm just here to listen. Now Discord, you can do, even if you like. Can you be a Discord Nitro member and also get another 3 months, or do you have to be? Is it one of those things where you can't be a member? You got to be a new member or whatever. Your subscription has to lapse, or you know how that is.
All it says here in the perk section is for enjoy free 3 months of enhanced Discord experience with perks like custom emoji usage, repping a profile banner, 2 server booths per month, upload bigger images and HD video. It doesn't say that it's only available to new users. So,
Okay. All right. Yeah, that would be cool. What's leaving, Sean?
so what is leaving? December 15th, we got this. This came yesterday as well with a load of, obviously, the drop of all the really cool new games that we're getting. Chained Echoes is leaving cloud, console, and PC. Opus Magnum is leaving the PC. Potioncraft Alchemist Simulator is leaving cloud, console, and PC. Rubber Bandits, and that's leaving cloud, console, and PC. So these are all leaving Friday, the 15th of December.
There you go. No, I'm not too upset about any of those, really. Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I think the only one that I wanted to try and didn't get to was Potioncraft, just because I thought I'd quite fancy playing the Alchemist as a simulator, and it was one of those simulator games that I never got to.
Yeah, I looked at it. It was more puzzly than crafty. Like, it was like the blocks and all that were part of the potion and how you made it, and so I skipped it for that reason. Those don't so much interest me. But as I always say, if you're interested in any of these, you have until December 15th to beat them or buy them for 20% off your Game Pass subscription. But you got to do it before they leave, so you got to do it before December 15th.
Yep, and remember, if you're looking for a place with the most up-to-date and clear-cut information on what's out there and what's coming and what's leaving, go to GamePassNews.com.
All right, on to the X feed. The X feed is where we talk about Xbox's top stories. And what are those top stories today? We start with a mid-game full-screen ad. Oh, the horror. How dare Ubisoft do this, Sean? The worst thing in the world. Tell me. Tell me how awful they are.
Well, it would be pretty awful. I mean, I could not imagine anything worse than like going into the pause menu and then having to sit through even like a 5-second pop-up ad telling me about Black Friday deals, which is what this one player, and let me go to his name. So Xbox fan Triddle24, he was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey. He pressed the map button to go to the map menu in Assassin's Creed, and as he did so, he got a pop-up for 20% off on Black Friday for Assassin's Creed Mirage, I believe. I mean, it is pretty awful. There has been an update to this story since, saying that Ubisoft have responded and called this mid-game advertisement as a technical error. So whether or not, as he's gone to the map menu, the game has had some kind of hiccup in its programming and kind of gone to, because I know sometimes when you load a game up, like Forza Motorsport, if I load that up, sometimes it brings up a what's new menu and sometimes tells me that this car passes out and I can have a deal on it and do this now. Same with Call of Duty. It does exactly the same thing when you go into Warzone. So whether or not this has happened by accident or it was coded in there and should ever actually gone live, they were just something that was in there as a test or an alpha at one point in very early testing, I don't know. But no, I would be horrified to the maximum degree if I was forced to sit through paid advertisement, like advertisements like that it kind of interrupted my gaming. So.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. There's also the cynical side of me that wonders if like they rolled this out and then all the vitriol and the seething anger they saw on social media, and they were like, no, that was a technical issue. We're going to take that right. I mean, we're going to fix that. That was never meant to be there. It's gone now. It's just like, I don't know if that's the case, but like, I could totally see it like just putting it in there and then being like, oh, this is a bad idea. We need to get rid of this like ASAP. Let's blame it on the poor like junior engineer down in the coding department and tell him it's a technical issue and shovel it right out. So either way, I'm glad it's not going to be there anymore.
Yeah, I mean, could you imagine it? Could you? I mean, With the crashing issues that you're going to talk about at Coral Island, could you imagine having to sit through pop-up advertisements that would probably make the game stutter even more than it already is for you?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would
I
drive you
mean,
mad.
yeah, it totally would. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, gamers. I don't think we're far off from a future where we're going to see ads in some way in our games. I think I think that's coming. I mean, we've already seen it in some way, but yeah, hopefully it's not in a place where it literally stops the game and we have to like a YouTube video, right? Like you might be watching us right now, and all of a sudden we're like, and then we stop, and then you get to watch a 15-second ad. So yeah, I mean, hopefully we never get to that point, but I think at some point we're going to
No.
start seeing ads more predominantly
See,
in games.
yeah, like Tom Clancy's The Division. There's a new one coming out soon. It wouldn't bother me if the screens that were like, if we go back to the original Tom Clancy's The Division, if we're like you're in Times Square in New York, and on one of the digital blue billboards there's an advertisement for something on there, that wouldn't bother me
Mm-hmm.
at all, because you'd
Yeah.
expect to see that if it's subtle and in the right place
Mm-hmm.
in a game, but it's still pegged as advertisement and people are going to see it, that wouldn't bother me. But to stop the gameplay
Yeah.
and stutter it, to no, I'm not sold on that.
Yep. I don't disagree with you at all. And I think you're breaking what a developer should be striving for, which is that like immersion into a game. That is that, at least for me, that's huge in gaming. And so if I'm like sunk into something and I've kind of lost my surroundings, then man, you got me. But you start throwing ads up, you'll pull me right back out from that, and that is not what you want to do. So, but
No,
hopefully
not one bit.
hopefully this was just an accident or a technical issue or whatever, and it won't ever pop up its head again. Next story: console sales drying up in Europe. Freaking Sean's not buying enough consoles. That's what I get. That's what I get out of this story. Sean, buy some more consoles.
I'm trying. No. I would like to try, actually. JA is in desperate need of an upgrade, but I'm waiting for the X to come down a little bit more in price.
I thought you were going to say you're waiting for like the rumored one or whatever. Would you?
No, the issue I'd have is that she likes to watch DVDs, so it needs to have a disc drive. So
I don't think Phil's worried about this. I mean, I don't think, and we'll actually, we'll get to that story. We've kind of named this episode after. I don't think Phil's worried about consoles. I think Phil would gladly get to a point to where he could just say goodbye to the console. And I know that's probably not what gamers want to hear, but I think that's very much the truth.
yes and no, because if you get rid of the console, you get rid of the ability to have the processing power for all the graphics. If you're going to go to streaming only, you're going to start to limit the processing power. So like TVs don't have fantastic processors in them, and for that to work, the TVs will become more expensive because they're going to have better processors in, or bits and pieces like that. Or then you're only going to be limited to be playing your cloud-based gaming service on a high-powered laptop to get the most out of it. I think coming away from consoles completely isn't the right thing to do, because that market's always going to be. I mean, you talk to any PC gamer and they're like, I speak to two quite regularly, and they're like, I don't want to upgrade my graphics card because I know the moment I upgrade my graphics card, they're going to bring out the next one because we're due for a big upgrade again soon. So like, I'm kind of waiting because I want that next graphics card, and that cascades down into the console era as well. For me, is that everybody's now going to everybody was shouting, prior to the Series S, Series X, and the PlayStation 5 coming out, everybody was screaming for the next gen console. And in 2 or 3 years' time, people are going to be doing exactly the same. And I know everybody sat in the Nintendo world are all sat there going, I want the Nintendo Pro.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. I mean, listen, I'm not I'm not an engineer, but I thought the processing power was all handled on the server side on your. So I didn't think the TV had to do any processing. I mean, obviously TVs can't process; they just can render. Or I mean, obviously, probably not the right word. I don't think I don't want to get myself into a pickle here of acting like I know more than I know. I didn't think that TVs would. I mean, they're smarter now. They're smart TVs, but I don't think they're processing it. As I understand it, it's the computer that's doing it. Hence the joke, or I don't know if it was a joke, but when Stadia, rest its soul, was alive, everybody was playing Cyberpunk 2077 on Google Stadia, and nobody was having issues because of their teraflops and bits and mega boops and all that were taking care of the issues on their big old computers. So, but that said, I mean, I don't disagree. As a gamer, I don't want to get rid of the console, really don't. But I just see the writing on the wall that it's going to happen. That we're probably we're probably not the next generation, but the generation after that. I just don't think it'll be here. I think we'll have the streaming sticks and all the things, and we'll be doing stuff that way. If there's a console, the console's probably going to be handheld. Probably going to go. I mean, if there's one thing but maybe not. Maybe you just have the phone and you do what we're doing right now. Damn backbone. Possibly. It doesn't work with my 15.
I don't disagree with some of the processing power being done before it gets stuck into the old internet, but the more information that you've had to process, the more information you have to send out. And I mean, as a man that's only just got nearly gigabyte internet, you are like very fortunate for the fact that your download rate is high enough that you can be, a gigabyte a second nearly. You've got the ability to download so much information that you will never lose packets of data to make the gameplay look sluggish. So for me, you've got an element of how much you can download, but also how much you can process. And to have high-end games looking fantastic, there's got to be a way, for me, there's going to have to be a way of processing some of that information, or a different way to scale that information so it can be sent in larger chunks and then processed at the other end, so it still looks as good as it did before it was sent. There's an element of that for me that they've got to get there. If we want these games to look absolutely stellar but still be streamed, there's got to be an element of processing somewhere.
Yeah, you're probably right. So, anyways, console sales are drying up in Europe, and I don't think Phil cares. I really don't. I think he's like, Game Pass subscriptions are up. There you go. Because, I mean, as long as I've been a gamer, I've heard, well, we make the money. They make the money on the software, not the hardware. Like, Nintendo is one of the only, as I understand it, as I've been told, the only hardware producers that actually at least breaks even on their hardware. Most of Xbox and Sony, they take a loss on the hardware so that they can make the money on the software. So why would they care if hardware goes down as long as subscriptions go up in this market? I just don't see it. I think it's probably if consoles go away, don't they end up making more money? Because they're not losing money on hardware. So I mean,
yeah, this is true.
Yeah, I just don't think like I said, I don't disagree with you. Like I'm not a proponent of not having a console. I think it's great. I think it's for a lot of reasons. Yes, I think that it's the way to go. But I just can see a time when maybe it doesn't exist in some way. I don't know. Anyways, what do you got about?
I mean, one of the other reasons.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I thought you.
So this is with you mentioning that console sales are dropping in Europe. I thought this was a hilarious reason as to one of the reasons why that might be happening. And a Dutch retailer, MediaMarkt, recently made a huge error while promoting the Xbox Series S, that they were selling it bundled with a physical copy of FIFA 2023.
At normal cost?
$299.
Yeah, I think that's normal cost, isn't it?
So the physical copy of FIFA 2023 was an Xbox One version,
Oh,
and they were selling a physical copy game with a piece of hardware that has no disk drive to play that physical copy of that game.
okay, that's fair. I actually didn't think about that. To be honest, that did not click in my head. I was just like, well, okay, wow, they got a free game. I didn't actually think about that part.
Yeah, which is why I was saying it could be one of the reasons. It's a bit of a kind of a joke and a play at the fact that they've dropped in Europe is that people are going into the stores and going, well, I can't play that game with that console, so I'm not going to buy that console and walk away.
That's funny. I'm just waiting for him to be like, hey, you can get an Xbox S and we'll bundle it with Super Mario Wonder for you if you want. I mean, it'll be great. You have a good time. You just you can shove the disc right up in there. Oh, it's funny. So Starfield has betting. To be honest, Sean, when I saw this article, I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be like gaudy and ugly and awful. It's really not that bad. Like
I haven't opened this article until right now. So this is like, you're getting my initial reaction straight away, and I love it.
Yeah.
I would have it.
To be honest, if I really loved it, I could probably get my wife to put this on our bed. She'd be like, yeah, I like the colors. It's got a little color on the, yeah, I think she'd be okay with it. It's not like it's got like a gaudy, like Starfield logo, like sat in the center of it. It's just got like what you would think of like white stars with the outlines of like how the planets go around. And then it's got the 4-color palette on the very top of the quilt. Looks good.
It does look good. And I mean, hey, if you don't like that one, there is a Fallout one as well, which is actually equally as nice. So
cool. It doesn't have like the guy without the nose just like plastered on the front of the quilt. The guy, like...
no, it's got like I'm just looking at the enlarged image now, so I can give you a description. It's got like stars, like yellow stars all over the place, and then there's the pit boy every now and then with a gun just firing stars around as well. It's actually a link in the article that we were just reading about Starfield betting at the bottom.
Oh, let me see if I can find it.
But yeah, well, next time I would have both. I would have both of these quite happily. And I think I could probably get away with a Starfield one over the Fallout one, but the Fallout one is definitely a lot more childish, but pretty cool still.
Yeah, I was thinking that same thing. You were like, there's a gun and there's a guy shooting out stars. I was like, yeah, my wife's not gonna be like, no, that's not happening. But this one, she probably would. I don't see it, but it's not a big deal. I don't need to see it. So, duvet cover. There you go. It's not a quilt. It's a duvet cover, which I don't know. Duvet. It's fancier. That's what it is.
It's French.
That's right. It's all right. Next, we want to talk about the fact that Xbox wants Game Pass on every screen you got because they're low on consoles. So if you're not selling consoles, they need Xbox everywhere, Game Pass everywhere. So you got a better chance of being a subscriber. That includes PlayStation and the Switch, which is no surprise, I don't think, to anybody. I think that's pretty obvious. They're bringing Call of Duty over. We've talked numerous times that Phil has been in contact with Nintendo, or has alluded to being in contact with Nintendo. The last time we really mentioned it, he said something like, we don't want to have single entertainment experiences on platforms. We want users to be able to enjoy our entire library, which, if you unravel that coded message, I think says, we don't want to give away single games. We want to give away the Xbox platform, not giveaway, but we want to have the whole Xbox platform available to a platform's users. That said, that was before they needed to get Activision wrapped up. So they made some deals, I think, for singular experiences so that they could lock that down and get people to agree to that acquisition. But I don't know. What do you think about this?
So, I mean, I think it's great. I mean, Xbox is like, they've always said play anywhere. So, as Xbox is constantly talking about making its games more accessible to players all around the world, and with this in mind, the company's CFO, Tim Stewart, has reiterated the company's mission to get first party releases and Game Pass on every screen that can play games. This means smart TVs, this means mobile devices, this means what we would have thought as the competitors in the past, like PlayStation and Sony PlayStation and Nintendo. I think this is great. I think it's a good idea. If I could launch an application on my Switch which takes me to cloud-based version of Game Pass on my Switch, give it to me. I'm happy for that. That's awesome. It means I don't then have to go and buy another device. I don't have to worry about, I don't need a backbone because the OLED Switch would play it really well. Just, yeah, give it to me. That's great. I'm all for that.
Yeah, I've said for a long time I think it'd be great, and I think I've said recently that I think is very doable with Nintendo as long as they're willing to take out indies like Miniko's Night Market that are already on the Switch, because Nintendo would be silly to take on a platform and eat their indie sales because the game is free on Game Pass. So if you're willing to do, which it kind of sounds like Tim Stewart is saying, hey, first party releases. Like if there was a first party Game Pass subscription where all you were getting were the main first party games, and maybe it's cheaper or whatever, something like that, and it's available on Switch, then yeah, dude, why wouldn't you? Like I be down. And it's great for Xbox. It's opened them up to 100 and I mean, not that all 120 don't have Xboxes, but there's 120 million more people that might think about an Xbox, that or might think about a Game Pass subscription, and I bet a good majority, a good bit of them don't have Xboxes. So, yeah, I think it's great.
It's a great way to reach more people, which is
Exactly.
inevitably, if you can get more people subscribing to your service, it's more money in the bank.
Yeah, and
bigger games for us.
He's right. It's such a great way to take a competitor that you're trying to scrape and fight for market share with, and turn them into a partner. And I mean, that's great. That's great for you. Like you don't have to sit there and try to like beat each other down. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, you win, I win. And so yeah, I think if they can get that done, they'll be in a pretty good spot in the future of gaming. And I mean, I think they're already rolling that out. So that's awesome. Oh, Xbox teases next story. Xbox teases news you don't want to miss at the Game Awards 2023. What do you think, Sean? What are they going to do?
I don't know. I wanted to bring this up because next week we don't have our usual show, which is going to be on Tuesday. For you audio listeners, there is going to be something released, which could either be just me on my own or me and Nick very quickly running through the games that have been released, what games are coming out, and then a reminder of the upcoming event. But Thursday, December 7th, we are going to be going live, and we're going to be going live for the entire event. You're going to see me and Nick there. I booked the day off work for Friday, so because it doesn't start until 12:30 in the morning, Friday morning for me. So you'll see both of us there. We could be joined by one or two or many others from the Game Pass Tracker team. That's our social team or our design team. Anybody, who's an open invite to them all to come in and out as they please and introduce themselves. So you get to, not only do you get to see me and Nick and listen to our reaction to everything, but you also get to meet other members of the team. I'm super excited for this. I don't know if they are just teasing to create hype for the Game Awards, or if they have stuff stuck up their sleeves, like, here we go, here, have a Activision IP, here, look at this, we're going to have Baldur's Gate 3, here, look at this, we're going to do this, here, look at this, hey, look at this. So yeah, the one thing I will think we're definitely going to see on December 7th is the Grand Theft Auto trailer.
Yeah,
for sure. I think the opening scenes to the Game Awards is going to be Grand Theft Auto trailer.
Yep, I think we'll get that. I think we'll get we'll have a release date for Baldur's Gate, maybe even day and date drop, or like the next day. Be really great if it came out to Game Pass, but that's probably not going to happen. But if it did, that would be fun. Not that I have any time with all of the games that do we.
I was gonna say, where are you gonna fit the time?
I know. If I always want more crap to come, I can't help it. I'm like a kid, you know. I'm like.
You have a backlog as long as Santa's naughty list.
Well, I'm on the naughty list, and I'm on the backlog list. So there you go. Well, I don't remember what I was saying. Oh, I think we'll get Baldur's Gate stuff. I really think, I know this is such the quintessential podcasting Xbox thing to say, but I think we really could get some Activision stuff. I know you probably think I'm dumb, but I mean, I think we're that space away, which actually also goes, and I'll just bring it up here. It's a news bulletin that we're going to talk about. The Activision, the CFO of Xbox says he is impressed at the speed of which Xbox and Activision are coming together as one. Basically, how fast and how efficient Xbox is acquiring Activision and kind of making them part of the Xbox team. So I don't know. Maybe that means something. Maybe not. Maybe not at all. Yeah. But I'll sit here and conjecture and do my thing.
I mean, Sarah Bond. She is. I can't remember what she is. She's an executive at Xbox. Can't remember which.
Yeah, she just got moved. She just got bumped up. Her title just got bumped up. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah,
though.
So
President of Xbox?
She shared a tweet of literally just the Xbox 360 logo, and like the internet went absolutely freaking nuts because they're like, oh, does this mean there's going to be news at the Game Awards? So anything and everything that they're doing at the moment is sparking so much hype and so much fire for what could be coming in the next few weeks. So there's things I hope we see. There's things I don't want to see. I don't want to see any Call of Duty information for Activision. I think at the moment they need to leave Call of Duty doing its own thing, which isn't great at the moment with the campaign for Modern Warfare 3. But to leave it doing its own thing and focus on stuff like get Crash Team Racing out, get like Tony Hawk's backlog out, get other awesome Activision AAA titles pushed onto the service ASAP. So
yeah, I mean, and there's low-hanging fruit too, but stuff that I think would really make the crowd my bad. Would make the crowd pretty happy and excited, which is like Obsidian's Avowed. We could see stuff on that. I'm not saying you're going to see it today, or you'd see it then. You'd see it, but not that it would come out right away. But you could see a new trailer for that. You got the Contraband thing that everybody's wondering what's going on with. Rare's Everwild. Like, there's a bunch of these games. Maybe you see a new snippet of Fable. Like, there's a bunch of low-hanging fruit that they could throw out there and give you. They're not going to give you all of that, but I could see them giving you something from that pile of stuff that Hellblade stuff. I think Hellblade's big first reveal was at Game Awards. So I could see them going back to that. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. They got stuff up their sleeve. I don't think this is all smoke and mirrors, and you'll see some stuff from them that'll be pretty cool. And that's, and we're going to be here. Come and hang out with us. We're just going to hang out, chat about awards, see some world premieres, and, and have a good time. So come out with us and you'll get to meet, like Sean said, you get to meet some of the team that makes what we do possible. All the cool things you see here with the designs and all that stuff. Hopefully we'll be able to have some of them on and some of those folks on. The wizards be behind the wizards that make everything we do a possibility, and we can't thank them enough for it. So yeah. Okay.
So very quickly, then we'll jump for the rest of the news bulletins. Skull and Bones apparently coming to Shaw February 2024. I mean, you made a joke saying that we'll probably be Skull and Bones by the time we actually get this game.
So yeah, that's accurate.
makes me laugh that this was supposed to be the game that came out before Hogwarts Legacy, but Hogwarts Legacy came out. You have completed it and completely forgotten about Hogwarts Legacy, and Skull and Bones still hasn't arrived. So.
Hey, I'm gonna make an Animal Crossing reference. Remember when we used to run around, can't wait to find Gulliver on the shore?
Yep.
That's Skull and Bones. It's just like washed up on the shore. You're like, oh shit, look at this. Huh, that's neat. I didn't think that was a thing.
Just poking it with a stick.
Yeah, just poke it with a stick.
This?
See what you got there. Oh, okay. Thanks. Yep.
Destiny 2, the expansion has been delayed. This doesn't shock me because I think it's actually due to be a massive expansion that they're getting. So obviously making sure that they're fine-tuning all the last little bits because you do not want to be dropping a huge expansion of this size to a game that's already critically acclaimed and a lot of people love it and enjoy it. You don't want to drop something in there that's absolute garbage. So yeah. And in the day and date with things that are being delayed, we've just talked about Skull and Bones, which got delayed twice. It never surprises me. So, but there is plenty of games coming out and probably lots of trailers coming with the Game Awards. So I think this might go a little bit unnoticed.
Skull and Bones delay, that one delay will always stand out to me. Like literally they had the forward and they were like coming out in 2 weeks, Skull and Bones. And then like 3 days later, they're like, yeah, we're going to delay that into late 2023. Now they've delayed it into 2024. Like it was just like, how did you have this like big reveal for a game that was supposed to come out in like a month? And then like a week later, delay it for an entire year. Like, how did you never like, oh shit, we didn't realize. Like, really thought that was done. Like, I don't know. It's just like I'll always blow my mind.
They must have played the title scene and then like all of a sudden the screen just went blank and they were like, well, the title screen was really cool. Yeah. Where's the rest of the game? And like the developers kind of sat there and went, you want an actual game? Oh shit.
he's all over there eating Doritos. He's like, man, that title screen is so good. You should watch it again because that's all I got. No, I'm just kidding. They work really hard. I'm not at all. That's not at all. And I appreciate all that they do. So I'm just
not to make another C pun, but Nick is a little bit sorry about this being delayed. So
hey, I got this one. I got the next one though, because ladies and gentlemen, this next week we will be unveiling Sean's GoFundMe for his Yorkshire Tea controller. It's $150 to get this thing. It's too expensive for us to just go out and get one ourselves. So we'll be GoFunding for Sean because he needs this Yorkshire Tea controller because I'm pretty sure it's like a national requirement that you buy one. And so, no.
Well, let's put it this way. The what I was drinking out of the cup at the start of the podcast was Yorkshire tea. So it is the finest tea of all the teas in all the land. And it's made not very far from me as well in Harrogate. So, yeah. I looked at it. I saw this, actually, I saw this on Twitter and I thought that is amazing. I didn't realize the price tag was £150, but because, they are having to pay for the artwork on the controller because it's designed by somebody else. It's not designed by Xbox. The artwork's done by somebody else. And they are saying that they're not making any money out of this controller. So, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, this thing looks awesome.
Yeah, no, it does look really neat. I'm not as in love with it. I mean, but it would be fun to have. I mean, for sure it would be fun to have this like controller. It's going to be limited edition.
I probably wouldn't use it. I would literally just put it in one of the display cabinets. It'd annoy Lindsay to high hell, but
yeah,
it's Yorkshire tea.
It's Yorkshire tea, man. So there you go. You need your Yorkshire tea controller. Now you got a limited chance to get it for £150. So those are all of our stories. Oh wait, what?
I said they're not only doing an Xbox One, there is a PlayStation 5 one. So if you were listening to this and you're like, you're not a huge Xbox fan and you have a PlayStation 5, they are doing a PlayStation 5 one too, and it looks just as good. So,
Mm-hmm. Actually, this might be like, I don't know, sacrilege, but I think it almost looks better. I kind of like the centerpiece, the way in the center they have everything. I was thinking that when I saw it on Twitter, I was like, I actually kind of like the PS5 one better.
Yeah, the PS5's got, because they've got that really big center section. They could put more on it. So
yeah. So those are our stories. Our feature story, folks. We did a Mogul Gaming Game of the Year. So this is our team. So let me just kind of explain how we did this. We did a top 5 for Game of the Year, and then we have categories for Game of the Year overall, for Nintendo, for Xbox, for a Game Pass specific game, because, we're the Game Pass Tracker Show, and then also for PlayStation. Okay? So that's it. Just no RPG, action RPG, blah, blah, blah. None of that. Just those categories. And our team got to do top 5 or top 3 of each of those categories, and then we weighted them. So we took the game, and if you were in category 1, that was 15 points. Category 2 was 9 points. 3 was 6, and 3, and then 1, I believe. So, and then we added all, depending on where those games were at, and everybody put them, where they put them, we added all those weights together, and we came up with what our game of the year are. And it's been kind of fun. So, Sean, how do you want to do this?
I don't know, because I'm looking at our little sheet for them, and I don't know which each section is.
So the top one is something's buzzing. The top one is overall. So okay, I'll just start, and then we'll go from there. Overall, we had a tie, and I'm very, very happy about this. We had a tie for first place between Alan Wake 2 and, utterly shocked, Hogwarts Legacy. Those two tied for Mogul Gaming's top game of the year. I'm not going to say it's the official game of the year, okay, because I don't know. We just threw this together. We didn't really ask the powers that be or anything. We were just like, here, we're going to do this thing. Everybody should sign up. So it might be the unofficial Mogul Gaming game of the year. Who knows? But it happened. So Alan Wake 2 and Hogwarts Legacy are our top games of the year. That's right. Starfield's not on it. Number 2 tie, yep. Tears of the Kingdom, Spider-Man 2. And our number 3 game, squeaking in, almost was a tie for second. It had 23 points. But Starfield is our third, it stands alone, number 3 game of the year. Technically, it's the It's the 5th game on the list, but it didn't have a tie. So there you go. What do you think of that, Sean?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with those standings over the games that were chosen. I completely agree. So,
yeah, I mean, I have some Mario. If you're wondering, Super Mario Wonder and Forza Motorsport were right under Starfield. So with 18 and 15, so real close. So that's our
super close
overall game of the year. Any surprises that's not there?
I'm surprised Forza Motorsport wasn't higher, but that's just personal choice.
So. Yep. I don't disagree with that. Trying to think of if there's any other game that but no, I mean, I think everything's pretty. All the top tier games that I can think of are pretty represented. I'm sure there's somebody in the viewership or listenership that's like, no, you totally missed this, and we probably did. I am surprised that Diablo legitimately did not make the list. So I'm a bit surprised about that. If you're wondering, Baldur's Gate 3 is down a ways, but it is on the list.
You've got to think of the players that we have in our team.
That's true.
So,
yep. And if your game's not on here, I've said this before. Freaking A, just that's fine. It was our games that we liked in the team. So we're not crapping on your game. Probably a bunch of people really loved it. It just didn't make the list. So, Xbox. We'll skip Nintendo. So this is any game on the Xbox platform. 1, 2, and 3. Starfield came out number 1, Xbox overall. Then Hi-Fi Rush came out as number 2. And then Jedi Survivor, number 3. Just for you, Bruce. Jedi Survivor.
Just.
So.
Yeah, I answered this in thinking of Xbox only games, so not Game
Yeah.
Pass, but just get. So, I mean, I answered it with Starfield. Where's mine? Because it's somewhere. Forza Motorsport, Resident Evil Village, and Starfield, because I could play those all on the Xbox platform. I'm surprised Hi-Fi Rush was as high as it was. Great game, critically acclaimed, but again, things like Alan Wake 2, Redfall,
Really?
with it being an Xbox, with it being an Xbox only game.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm surprised by Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah, I get you. I don't disagree. I am surprised that Forza Motorsport didn't edge in there a little bit more, or Alan Wake, too, didn't kind of get up there a little bit higher and maybe edge out one of those. But so now next category, this is Game Pass game. So for this game to be chosen, it had to be on Game Pass. Doesn't mean it had to be like an Xbox exclusive. It just had to be on Game Pass. So again, number one, by a long shot, by the way, on this one, Starfield.
Yeah, huge.
With 69 points. Number two, Hi-Fi Rush, once more. And then a three-way tie for third place between Justant, Lies of P, and Redfall, actually. Redfall edged out your Forza Motorsport, Sean. Talk to me about that.
No, I don't understand. Well, I do and I don't understand. Redfall was a great co-op game, and it was a great. They went in a completely different direction in terms of what they usually make. So they made a good game out of it. And a lot of people crapped all over it because of the issue around the 60 frames per second and so on and so forth. But the game played really well. So I am not surprised it edged out Forza Motorsport. And it sticks in people's mind a little bit more. Forza Motorsport is a pretty niche game.
That's true.
You've got to really enjoy racing simulators to play the game. So
yeah, that I don't that I definitely agree with. Okay, we'll do PlayStation next. No surprise, Spider-Man 2 takes number one, and then two-way tie for second place between Final Fantasy 16. I really count my numbers there, and Alan Wake 2, and then Jedi Survivor 3 takes the third space. So there you go. Yep. Baldur's Gate was just a bit behind in that one. So, and then finally, good old Nintendo. Top 3 games on Nintendo. Super Mario Wonder is number 1. Tears of the Kingdom, number 2. And Metroid Prime Remastered, actually. I did not see that coming. Metroid Prime Remastered takes number 3. Now I want to kind of play it, to be honest. I didn't play it this year.
Do it. Honestly, that blows my mind for somebody that really enjoyed Metroid Dread as well.
Yeah, I did. Something happened.
The
Hogwarts happened.
Oh yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I was mired in that at that time.
They did a really, really good job of remastering that game. The way it looked, the way it plays, everything. Even like the issue I thought that they were massive issue I thought they were going to have was the aiming system. All of it was just fantastic. I can't wait for them to remaster the rest of the trilogy. So
cool. Very cool. So those are the Mogul Gaming Game of the Year games right to you. We'll refine this process. This is the first one we've ever done. We'll get it kind of better as time goes on, but it's fun. Anything?
What I might do is over the next few nights, I will create an image showing each of the titles included for us to just put out, because I think yes, this was our first one. I think we should do this every year.
Sure.
And I want to make a point of it. So.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. Yeah, I like it. Anything else before we move on to the dashboard?
No, let's go and see what games you've been playing because I haven't been playing too many.
The Dashboard, where we talk about all the games that we've been playing or maybe haven't all been playing that much. So we're here. Well, Sean, what do you got?
So the only game I have played this week, and I played it long enough to do 2 races, was Forza Motorsport. That's it.
Okay.
I finished the second series, so obviously there was 5 cups in that series. I finished all those series, and then I've started the third one, which is the one that I've been putting off the most because it starts with American Muscle Cars. And if you've ever done any form of racing simulator, you know that American Muscle Cars go in a straight line really good. You just don't turn corners. So it's taking a lot of work. And I'm using the Camaro, which is even worse. It was the best of the pick. So yeah,
that's really interesting. See, I didn't realize any of this.
It's trying to put the power down because American Muscle Cars have got a lot of torque, and it's a lot of low end torque as well because they're big V8, V10, like big chunky engines, that can generate a lot of torque, and then most of them are now turbo tuned as well. When you're trying to put the power down out of a corner, it'll spin up a little bit and then it'll grip and drive the car, and then as you change the gear, that power band starts all over again. So if you're still got a bit of turning angle and trying to really put some traction down, the car just starts sliding. So it make for really good drifting cars, but horrific racing cars. So
I love listening to you talk about you just torque and grip and low end and put the power down, and I'm like, I have no idea, but it sounds really cool. Yeah. It sounds, very impressive. And I think it's impressive that they made a game that you can actually know all that stuff and put it to good use. It's not just
Yeah. So it's because when you start out, the car's on stock tires, it's all on stock suspension, stock, everything's as it would be as it rolled out the factory sort of thing. Obviously the handling and grip will improve as I change bits, but you've got to drive the car and race it to unlock those bits.
Mm-hmm.
So the first race was just awful. It was so difficult, and it was on quite a windy track as well. So it seemed like a really long race. Each lap was nearly 2 minutes long, and there was 5 laps to do. It was just trying to feather the throttle to get the car out. So yeah. The first time I started playing it, in the first few practices, I just went health 11, was trying to put the power down low as the car was sliding around everywhere. I was like, I'm just going to have fun for a while and just slide the car everywhere. And then I was like, no, actually, I need to qualify and do decent. So
I need to actually do the right thing. Well, that's cool, man. And, sometimes we have those weeks where there's just not a lot of playing going on. So what have I been playing? Well, really mainly 2 games. I have been playing Minecraft. People, I cannot find... Okay, so here's the deal. I have built this... My son, my daughter, and I have built this amazing castle-y, mansion-y type thing out of a mountain, basically, or a large hill. I don't know what you want to call it. And now we're our goal is to find obsidian. We found diamond. We have a diamond pickaxe. We're ready to find obsidian. We can't find it. I got the advice to put water over lava. That made me cobblestone. So then I went searching online and found out that I need lava source blocks, which don't flow. They're just you can pick them up with the thing. I cannot find these things anywhere. I have searched everywhere for these things. So that is our current mission. And when I say our, I mean mine, because I've kind of lost my kids. Now it's kind of Dad, this is way too crazy. We just want to I don't know, fish and kill animals or whatever they do. I don't know what they're doing. They're raising animals over there. Anyways, so I'm playing Minecraft. That's my current angst there. I take any advice anybody might possibly have at Nintendo on X. Please, anything. I've gone through many a pickaxe, let me tell you. So much mining. Okay, so and my other game is a real addiction, my friends. I am into Coral Island pretty deep. This game is my type of game. It's the farmy, crafty, cozy. Find all the stuff, the relationships, the building. You get to make your own farm and figure out the game mechanics and the game systems and how to best use them to make the most money. Love that stuff. Absolutely love it. Sean, I wouldn't be playing it if it wasn't for Sean. I'd like to point that out. Sean gave me the idea to skip the museum cutscene so that I could move forward. Because to kind of step back, there's issues with this game. There's periodic crashing. I will say they put out a patch last week. It took care of the audio issues because you used to not be able to hear if you were actually like chopping down a tree. That's all gone. Audio issues for me, for the most part, are completely gone. Also, it took care of the stuttering. No more stuttering in the game whatsoever. So that's great. There still is periodic crashing, but now the museum bug has gotten worse to the point to where this isn't like a, can I skip the cutscene? This is like, I've got to the point to where the museum upgrades into a much larger museum. And now when I go into the museum, no matter what, the game immediately crashes. Now, to the developer, Stairway Games, I believe is what it's called, the developer's called, to their credit, they have said, hey, we know this is an issue. And it's really apparently only an issue with the S because Sean said that. And so Sean made it show, and it's Sean's fault. But that's okay. And so they've said they know it's an issue. They actually have the fix, and it's in the pipeline with Xbox, and it should come out here in the next week or two. That's the hope. So I'm hoping for that, but I am highly addicted to this game. Like, I absolutely love it. I've got the silver water can, and I've just submitted to get the silver axe, and I'm doing all the things, and I don't know. It's crazy, but I'm absolutely loving it. If you love those kind of games, I would say wait a week or two and then jump in with all your might and have a fantastic time. Once this patch comes that fixes the museum and hopefully fixes some other crashes, then this will be a fantastic, comfy, as I call them, cozy, crafty game. So there you go.
That's it. I have been enjoying it, and it's one of those where you can't just play it for half an hour and be done. It's one of these games where you have to sit and spend some time, and I haven't had the time to do it. Mm-hmm. So I wish I had.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, you could if you had that ability. I do not have that ability. I finish a day, and then I'm like, well, I just want to go see what happened, and then I'm like, oh, I'm halfway through the day. Well, I'll just finish this day. Then I'll finish this day, and then I'll be done. And it's just this vicious cycle. It's the same as Stardew Valley. The game doesn't save until you sleep. So, but it does. Resume has worked very well for me. I've not had any issue with that. So if I have to put the game down in the middle of a day, it's never come back and just, except for the one time it updated. And so, but it's never like crashed and not resumed where I needed it to. It's just random, man. I'm sure it's got to be tough to be a developer and have to try to figure out all these issues. I'm in their Discord. They've really good. Like, if you're playing this game and you're frustrated, go in the Discord. There's a lot of stuff there to help you out to try to figure it out. Also, you can submit any bugs that you find or anything like that. God bless these people. Like, I've looked over the like fix list or the like crash report list. It's just, it would be daunting to have to look at this list and try to like take out these bugs. And I mean, most of them are not like game ending, like crashes. Most of them are just like, this didn't work or that didn't work or, something like that. There is some issues with errands still. They fixed some of those issues in the last patch, but there's still some issues. So anyways, I could talk for a long time about Coral Island, so I will stop. And you will hear me talk about it for the next few podcasts for sure.
No, I'm just I think it's great that there's a Discord and a way for people who are playing the game to reach out to the developer and say this isn't working. And I love that, they've reached out and said, hey, look, we're trying to fix some of these, but we're kind of being stopped because we've got to give the patch notes to Xbox. They've got to look over them and make sure they're okay and give us the green light to release them. So I think that's good. And it's humbling to see that. And I reckon as a developer, it's also humbling. As much as you've got this list, as long as your arm for things that need fixing, also means you have enough people playing the game to create that list.
That's true.
So
yeah,
it's a two-way street, man. So
Mhm.
yeah, awesome. It is a great game. I do like playing it. The last time I played it, I just ran around everywhere and looked at everything. I went up to the water temple. I went down to the other, to all the corners of the map, and I was having a good look around. So
Yeah, the world they created is alive and huge, and if they can get it on solid footing and keep it a living game, then man, they really got something for sure. So
definitely.
anything else before we go to party chat?
No, we'll roll into. I mean, I have games lined up. So next time we speak,
docket. Let's talk docket. I always forget about this. Go for it.
So I have Remnant loaded up and ready to go. I've got Rollerdome that I want to play. I've got what else have I got? I have my eye on a couple of games that I want to buy. Obviously, birthday's coming up in December, so I've got a couple of games that are on my list for people to get me. I've got Mario RPG that I want to churn into, and at the same time, the Mario Rabbids DLCs should soon be coming. So I've got those to play as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got Super Mario RPG on my Santa list right now. So I'm interested to see what you think about Rollerdome. I did play that. I kind of forgot that I had played that today. No, yesterday. I played it yesterday. I'm not a skater, so like I don't want to sit here and be like, well, I didn't really care for the game. Although that's exactly right. I didn't really care for the game. It wasn't horrible, but also I would say take my opinion with a grain of salt because, like I said, I'm not like I don't really love skating games where you kind of do, and so I'll be interested to see what you think of it. So I will want to know your opinion next week, sir.
No pressure.
No pressure. On what am I playing? SteamWorld Build. Yeah. That's that. SteamWorld Build and Coral Island will consume the rest of my life. So there you go. At least for probably the rest of this year. That's what they'll do. SteamWorld Build and Coral Island will consume the rest of my year. That is probably an accurate statement.
I have a feeling that SteamWorld Build will work a hell of a lot better than Coral Island, and that will end up taking most of your time up.
Yep. Yep. I would think you're probably right. Well, on to the party chat.
It's party time! Woohoo! Oh, yeah!
For some reason, my Steam Deck didn't want to. Didn't my Steam Deck? No, I don't have a Steam Deck. I wish I did though. My Stream Deck did not want to go to the 2-player party chat. I'll have to figure that out. But we're there now, so we're good. This is the time where we chat to you guys. What's going on with the thing? I don't know. The chat is having issues for some reason. Hello.
Oh dear. Hello. Well, while that's all
I think we're
doing its thing and Nick's pressing buttons, we do have a question. We have a question from Mo Spankins that came in the from the Nintendo Dad's group of people in their Discord. He says, what are the odds of Xbox showing off that redesigned Digital Series X at the Game Awards? Apparently he is hearing things. So there's chatter happening in the Xbox world.
I think there's no chance.
No,
none.
You don't think they're ready for that yet? Oh, that we're ready for that yet?
I don't know if it's that they're not ready for it yet. It's less about I don't think that it's there. It's more about I don't think that they would do that at the Game Awards. I just that's something they're going to want to own the narrative and be able to script it however they want, and that'll be a showcase. That's my thought.
So you think that might be the summer showcase next year or an early showcase 2024?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I mean, I think they want to give the Game Awards games. That's what that's what the Game Awards are really known for, world premieres and that kind of stuff. So that's why I think they'll do the low hanging fruit of, like I talked about, the Avowed and those games, and you'll see a Baldur's Gate for sure, and and hopefully something else cool. Maybe Fable will drop tomorrow. I don't know. Who knows? December 8th, Fable will come out.
That would ruin everything.
Yeah, that's
for Coral Island and Stingwell Bill.
That's what's out the window. See you later.
Sink that battleship.
That's for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as much as it'd be nice for that kind of hardware to be teased and shown off, yeah, I can't see it happening. I mean, unless they tie it in with the fact that they're going to be saying, "Oh, there's this other device you can go in. Oh, there's an application for these TVs now. You can play cloud gaming here, here, and here." But we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see what comes. It's not a bad shout, Mo, but I take what you're seeing on the old interweb as with a pinch of salt.
Yeah, I mean, I'll also listen. I'm the guy that a week before they delayed Starfield into 2023, I said, there's no way in 2022 that they could delay Starfield. It's the only hinge they got left in this crappy year. And a week later, they were like, yeah, Starfield's out. Sorry. See you later. So there you have it. I don't always have the most fantastic track record.
And that was the only question really that came that I found that we had out there. So yeah.
Well, Sean,
how you been doing? You had some weather.
Yeah, we had a little bit of snow, nothing crazy. Yeah, my wife was off school. Ironically, I went north where there's more snow to drop the kids off at school, and they didn't get off. I had to drive through some shitty roads to drop them off to school. But whatever. And so now it's like, I don't even know what it is right now. But anyways, it's going to be like 45 degrees to 50 degrees, which is, I don't know, like 20 degrees away from freezing for us. Now it's warm because that's Michigan.
It's currently 30 to 32 Fahrenheit at the moment.
Where?
Here.
Oh, there. Okay. Oh, so you're right at freezing. Okay. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we had a little bit of weather, but not much. I shoveled a couple of times. And now we probably won't see weather for we won't see snow until the rest of December because Michigan's weird that way. Or we won't see snow until Christmas when we want to have family come over and travel, and then we'll probably get dumped on. That sounds about right. That's probably what will happen. I really do love my state, but its weather can be a little ridiculous sometimes. Yeah. Oh, and we wanted to chat about Survivor, and I Am a Celebrity.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if I'm going to get some stick for this because I know there's a couple of people that do sometimes watch this at work. One of the managers walked past me the other way and said, "I saw your face on the TV in the mess room the other day," and I was like, "Really? I can't remember being on TV." And then I'm like, "Oh, somebody must have been watching the podcast." So, hi, if you've been watching at work, I see you. Doesn't work. I'm kidding. Don't do anything.
Go play games.
I can't tell people to do. I can't. Shh. Yeah. So I'm a Celebrity time in the UK. If you're aware of what this is, you're probably going to be bored for the next 3 minutes while I explain to people that might not know what this is. So they choose 12 celebrities to go into the Australian jungle. A couple of years back, I think with COVID and everything, they couldn't go to Australia. They did it in a castle in Wales, I believe, or in Scotland, one of the two, where it was freaking cold and horrible. But they sent them to Australia. They kind of split the the celebrities up at first, and they kind of get one lot of celebrities to do a challenge to earn stars for the first night's food in camp, while other celebrities do other stuff to help the other celebrities doing the actual challenge. Really interesting. They skydive some of the celebrities in. So I think Jamie Lynn Spears was one of the American celebrities that was in the jungle this year. They dropped her out of a helicopter and she got to parachute into the jungle, kind of thing, which is cool. She's now actually left on medical grounds from the jungle. I think she was having a bit of a hard time adapting to the jungle life, but it's pretty cool. And they like daily they have to do challenges. So like and those challenges, who does those challenges is voted by the public, which has been interesting because there's a YouTube influencer in there called Nella that's being given a hard time at the moment by the public because she seems to be voted into every single challenge. But these challenges can go from like they have to go into like boxes and they have like little critters and spiders and snakes and rats poured in there with them, and they have to do a challenge inside this box where they're trying to earn stars, to eating challenges and drinking challenges. So they've like been blending up
Survivor. Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah. So like they're eating like basically cow's ass and penis and testicles, and it's so funny because you're watching celebrities, which are these people that are really like highly decorated and TV personalities that you don't normally see this side of them, and you don't like get to see the real life stories of them and stuff like that. And it's just so it's really bad good TV or really good bad TV, whichever way around you want to look at it. And I'm not really one for reality shows that much, but this is grip to me. So this year.
Well, it came up because Sean was asking, like, I can't remember. Something was like, what are we doing? Or can you meet? Or I don't know, something like that. And I was like, no, I'm watching Survivor. He's like, what's that? And I was like, you don't know what Survivor is? Like, so Survivor and you were like, oh, it's kind of like so it's not celebrities. It's just like, I don't know, 15, I think, random Joes that get chosen and they get thrown on an island. And they have to do challenges. There's like usually at first they start off in teams until so many people get like two tribes, separate tribes, until so many people get voted off, and then they merge. It's what's called the merge into one tribe, and they're all like living together, but they're now fighting, trying to do stuff solo. So like there's usually like a reward challenge, which might be like some food, because otherwise they live off of like this bag of rice that they're given in the beginning, and they have like a well of water that's been dug for them. That's it. And whatever they can catch, they'll get fishing gear and stuff like that. They can try to catch fish and eat fish or whatever. Anyway, so
see, that sounds more interesting because there's that element of if you cannot like fish or like hunt for yourself, you are literally just going to be eating rice.
Yeah, that's it. Like, I mean, you see some of this, like some of these guys lose a lot of weight. It's pretty crazy. So it's like a reward challenge. They go through, I keep hitting my mic, sorry. They go through, do the reward, and then but then there's the immunity challenge. And so the immunity challenge is where, like they're in right now, they've merged, it's everybody for themselves. Everybody's fighting for this immunity necklace, and whoever gets the immunity necklace can't be voted off. And there's all kinds of little things like immunity idols that you can find, or and you can find these and play them at the vote at the end. At tribal council is what it's called. So they all go to tribal council. Everybody, as long as they haven't lost their vote, gets one vote, and they all go and secretly vote and then come back, and the host's name is Jeff Probst. Jeff reads the votes, and whoever has the most votes is voted off the island. And once you merge, then the people voted off of the island, so the merge usually happens when you're down to like half the people left in the that are on the show. So like, I don't know, 8 or 9 people. So then once you merge, if you get booted off, then you're not just off the show, you're then on the jury. And then where the last 3 people the jury votes. So the people who you voted off or helped probably vote off, they vote who should get the $1 million. And there it is. So
Cool. So fair, yeah. It sounds it sounds very similar, apart from they get to do the voting. Like the celebrities here, and I'm a Celebrity, are voted off by the public when that starts. But yeah, it sounds pretty much similar, apart from Survivor sounds a little bit more hardcore.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that would change things so much if you were voted by the public. Like here in Survivor, it's very interesting because, you know, there's always alliances going on, right? Like people are like, oh, we're going to vote together no matter what, until somebody finds themselves at the bottom of the alliance, knowing that when the alliance is, when it's their time to start voting, they're going to be voting. So then they'll jump ship and they won't tell anybody. And it's just like, and you're always trying to figure out, like Becca and I are always trying to figure out who's getting voted out, or who do we think is getting voted out? Do we have any idea? And there's always blind sides at tribal council. Somebody who's like the last the last one we just watched, the guy had an immunity idol in his pocket. He could have been like, I don't want to get voted out. And all the votes for him wouldn't have counted. But he was so sure that he wasn't going to get voted out, he didn't use the idol. And he ended up getting voted out. Totally blindsided, voted him. So.
Oh dear.
So yeah, it's fun stuff. That's Survivor. And it's been going on for years. Since I was like in junior high, we've been watching this show. That's the most amazing part. I think this is season 45 of the show.
Oh. The other thing I've been watching that is very similar. Did you ever watch Squid Games? The TV show on Netflix.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I watched that.
I'm watching this without Lindsay and Jaya. I'm watching this in my own time, sort of thing. Is Squid Games The Challenge, which is it's on Netflix. And it's 456 people. Each contestant that gets booted out, exactly like the TV series. So each contestant that gets eliminated, $10,000 gets added to the pot to the point it makes up $4.56 million. The games are exactly the same as in the TV show. So the first one is red light, green light. The second one is the cookie. The third one isn't tug of war. It's something else. I'm not going to spoil it. But it's really good. The people don't die, obviously, like in the TV series. There's no way anybody Netflix would never get away with actually killing people.
Yes, that's accurate.
But they have like in the games, they have a little thing on their chest, which is like an ink pod that pops and explodes like they've been shot.
Okay.
And that is just 456 random people from England, America, I think outside of those countries as well. And it's been one of them things where like I kind of thought about watching it a few times, and then somebody at work mentioned you should watch it. It's really cool. It's like it starts off really slow and bad, but then it gets interesting, and it's gripped me, and I'm like, I can't wait to watch the next episode. So I think it's what I'm going to watch tomorrow. Before I try and have a nap before night is Squid Games, The Challenge. It's great. It's an awesome watch. If you really enjoyed Squid Games, the actual TV show, go and watch this. It's exactly that, but without all the dramatization of it trying to be a series and all the reality TV side of things, which I normally hate but quite enjoy.
This is. I mean, I'm just kind of looking over some of it. It looks cool. I have to.
So yeah, that's other than working, sleeping, running kids around everywhere, getting ready for Christmas. I'm currently sat next to our Christmas tree, which for our viewers, and I will just move you to the side. Our Christmas tree sat here.
Such a pretty tree you have.
This is a new one for this year. We did have a skinny tree that fit in the corner better. But the kids were all like, I don't like the skinny tree anymore. We want a bigger tree, so we bought a bigger tree.
We bought a bigger tree.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah. Other than that,
which means one thing though, because there's no more car tracks in the living room, so setting up for the podcast it's ace because I don't have to move those around. But like the living room now actually looks like a nice parental space to be in. I've got full of kids' toys.
yeah, other than that, life's good. I mean, I'm getting wisdom teeth taken out next month. That sucks. I went to the dentist for that. So yeah. And Sean, I actually thought about us. I looked at the calendar because the lady was like, "How about Tuesday?" And I was like, "Sure, Tuesday's fine. Whatever. It's like a month away." And then I looked at the calendar and I was like, "Oh no, that's not gonna work." I was like, "I can't do that." I was like, I can't do that." I was like, the podcast was that night. I was like, I can't. And so we changed it to the day after, so I have a week to get over it. So
Yeah, like any form of dental surgery is always horrific for me. The idea of the needles in the mouth and then the drilling and then like all the pain and stuff afterwards is just not for me.
yeah, dentists suck. So yay for me. That's all right. Well, all right, sir. We've been doing this for 2 hours.
No way. Well, this is a taster for everybody that's going to be watching us when we do the game awards.
No, we're only halfway done.
Don't know. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for sticking with us. If you listen to this via the audio, thank you very much for listening to us for nearly 2 hours. I know the last little bit is kind of just us chatting back and forth about what we do, but we like this side of the show. We like the party chat. We like just sitting back. We are two ordinary guys, two ordinary dads. And we do like to just cut the breeze every now and then. So, but as I always say, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for listening. If you want to get hold of me or Nick on X, you can do. I am Sean _Abbott and Nick is Nick10Do. Or if you want to chat to the show itself, that is at Game Pass Tracker. If you want to send us an email, you can do it. show@gamepasstracker.com. That is show@gamepasstracker.com. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening. Thank you to Bruce for being in a live chat. And until next time, guys, we shall see you later.
See you later, guys.